Hello, hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Inglês no Rádio. My name is Foster Hodge. I am your English teacher, and I am here with my lovely kobaya, Alexia.
Hello, how are you?
I am doing wonderfully. How are you, Alexia?
I'm doing wonderfully as well.
Ooh, very original.
Fantastic.
Awesome.
Amazingly.
Terrific. Cool. So today on the show, we are talking about a subject that is a little more serious than the topics that we normally cover here on the show. And that is because today, December 7th, is the anniversary of Pearl Harbor.
Yes.
So let me begin, Alexia, just by asking a general question. Do you know much about Pearl Harbor? I don't know if this is something that you study in school, in elementary school in Brazil, because this is just like a normal part of American history for us.
Yes, of course. It is for you guys so important. But as I remember from my school, we did talk about it, but we didn't study as much as we should. I don't know, my history teachers, they like to focus more on Europe than United States or Asia.
On Europe.
On Europe.
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 There we go. A lot of our students have a really hard time with that word. I hear a lot of Europe, a lot of Europe, but we just say you're. Like you're going to the mall. Europe.
Europe.
There we go. Perfect. Yeah, that's normal to have a more Western focus.
And to be honest, I think that I know more about it than my friends because of my dad. My dad knows a lot about it.
Yeah, your dad is quite the history buff.
Yeah.
Do you remember that phrase? I believe when we talked about movie buffs, we talked about buff.
Yes, I remember that.
Do you know what it means when I say your dad is a history buff?
He knows everything. He likes it a lot.
Yeah, he's just very interested, knowledgeable. He knows a lot about it.
Yeah.
And it's kind of interesting because you can say someone is a history buff, a movie buff, something like that. But also, if someone is really buff, that can also mean they are in really good physical condition.
Oh, okay.
Kind of an older word that my parents' generation use more than we do, but it's like saradão. He's really buff.
Okay.
That guy on the beach today was so buff.
You are buff.
No, I'm not.
But what I know about Pearl Harbor.
Okay, one more time.
Harbor.
Pearl
Harbor.
Sounded like you were trying to say pure bar.
Yeah, I don't know why.
So let's repeat that one time. Pearl
Harbor.
Yes, that RL combination can be quite difficult for a lot of Brazilians and Portuguese speakers. So I always just recommend slowing it down, really articulating both syllables. Pearl.
There
we go.
Pearl Harbor.
Okay. So what do you know?
I just know that Japan attacked this American military base in Hawaii, and it was a surprise attack.
Yeah.
And it was awful. I mean, of course, there are a lot of more things and history facts that I don't know, but I think that I know the big fact.
Yeah, I think you got the gist of it. That was really good. Also, another good word. I'm full of good vocabulary today. When I say you got the gist of it, do you understand what that means?
O jeito?
More or less, the gist is like the general idea.
Okay.
There is even a podcast that I really like called The Gist, and this is G-I-S-T.
G-I-S-T.
And that just means kind of the general idea. You're not going too deep, but you get the concept.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. On December 7th, 1941, there was a surprise attack by the Japanese on the American naval base Pearl Harbor, which is in Oahu in Hawaii. And yeah, it was totally a surprise. It was really bad. I think in total, approximately 3,000 people died.
Including your great uncle?
including my great uncle. So that was the brother of my grandmother.
77 years ago, right?
I'm not sure. I think that is correct. I believe he was 17 or 18 years old. And he was in Pearl Harbor working on a ship. And it was crazy. And there's a really crazy story about this. So just recently, like a few months ago, my grandparents are...
During Easter, yeah.
Yeah. So my grandparents are quite old. They are 95 and 96 years old. And recently, they have not been doing so well. So my mother has been cleaning a lot of things in their house. And this year, she found a group of letters. And one of the letters was from another person in the military, and he was writing to my great grandparents, telling them what happened to my great uncle. And it was like super specific.
Yeah, because that was a way that the parents and the families, they knew about what happened to their sons or...
Right, they're soldiers.
Yeah.
And it was crazy because this guy writing to my great grandparents, he said, I was on the top of the boat and we had time to escape. But my great uncle apparently was on one of the lower floors of the boat. And he said within, I believe it was 42 seconds, that everyone on the lower floors were completely underwater, drowned, 0% chance of surviving. It's crazy. Imagine that, like a 17 or 18-year-old boy dying underwater in a war.
That's how I feel about when I watch these war movies and they are based on real stories. Because when you are watching a movie, an amazing movie like Dunkirk.
Dunkirk. Yeah.
Dunkirk.
Good film.
Amazing movie. We watched that as an entertainment, right? Like,
Yeah.
whoa, the production was amazing and everything is amazing. But
Right. In this
that
case,
was
I would just
real.
say entertainment. We watch this as entertainment.
As entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
But that happened. People died. People are still fighting nowadays, you know, like, and it's the same that I feel with Pearl Harbor.
Pearl.
Oh my God, Pearl Harbor.
Yes. One more time.
Pearl Harbor. I don't know. I think that I got used to say Pure Bar so much. And you used to correct me so much with pure. And now
Yeah.
I can't say Pearl.
So a good thing to do when you kind of get in these mental blocks and it's difficult for you to pronounce a word or expression, just get it right from the beginning, repeat a few times, get it in your head. So let's do it right now on air. Repeat with me 3 times. Pearl,
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 girl,
Girl,
squirrel.
Squirrel,
Nice. Pearl Harbor,
Pearl Harbor,
Pearl Harbor,
Pearl Harbor,
Pearl Harbor.
Pearl Harbor.
Perfect. Are you going to forget that?
I hope not.
Okay, Pearl Harbor.
Pearl Harbor.
There we go. Awesome. Yeah, but there was actually a movie about this as well called Pearl Harbor. I believe the star was Ben Affleck.
I like him.
Eh,
I don't know for a war movie. I don't know if I would like him there.
I'm not a huge Ben Affleck fan, but that's for another episode, another time. But yeah, even though these war movies can be really good, sometimes it doesn't really do the event justice. And sometimes we forget, yeah, a shit ton of people died. This was really serious. And I'm very happy that we are not alive during a world war. And I pray that our splendid world leaders can keep it that way.
Well, it's happening a war right now. No one talks about it in Syria. And
in a lot of places.
Yeah, they're bombing and people are dying and no one talks about it.
Okay, bombing.
Bombing.
Okay, the B is silent. So just imagine ba.
Ba.
So this is the same vowel sound as you have in Portuguese, and words like prato, chato, guaraná, ba.
Ba.
Bomb.
Bomb.
Okay, you're still saying bomb. There's no B. The B is totally silent.
Why do you have a B in this word then? Let's do it. Come on.
Bomb.
Bum.
Say mom.
Mom.
Okay, just mom with the B at the beginning. Bomb.
Bum.
Yeah. This is the same thing in word.
But with the ing?
Bombing.
Bumming.
Yeah.
Oh God, bumming. They were bumming? Is that right?
Yeah, I
That
would even
sounds
open your mouth a little
so-
bit more. Bombing.
Wrong. Bombing. They were bombing and bombing and bombing. I sound like I don't know.
Like an American, like a native English speaker.
Yeah, this is weird.
It's the
Okay,
same-
guys, you should try it because this is a life changer right now.
We have a lot of words like this in English that end with the B, but the B is silent.
Did you see what I just said?
What?
That what you just do? We have a lot of words in English. You just said it like that.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh.
No, I did not notice. We have a lot of words in English. For example, dumb.
Dumb.
You don't say dumb.
No, you are dumb.
Yeah. So there's a B in the word dumb, but we do not pronounce it. Many times in English, especially when we have a word that ends with the two consonants MB, the B is silent.
Okay. Bombing. Bombing.
Yep.
We are bombing.
You know,
It's easier with a British accent.
you know the guy that fixes your toilets and like,
Plumber.
yeah, a plumber.
Yeah.
That has a B in it.
Plumber. Yeah, plumber. But
We
that I
don't-
knew. I don't know why.
We don't say plumber.
No.
That sounds ridiculous.
Plumber.
But anyway, getting back to Pearl Harbor, it was a super important day, not only to remember all of the people that lost their lives, but also the next day, December 8th, 1941, yes, Alexia has a question. She's
Who
raising
was
her
the
hand.
president
During this time,
Yeah.
FDR, Franklin D. Roosevelt.
Okay, Roosevelt.
Yeah, so the next day, the U.S. said that we are at war with Japan and we officially entered World War II because at this time, there was already a lot of fighting in Europe going on. All of the crazy Nazi stuff was happening.
Churchill was there defending.
And for the most
everyone-
part, the United States was saying, hey, you guys are crazy. We're going to stay out of this one. And then after Pearl Harbor, we said nope. And we came in and saved the day because that's what the United States does, or at least used to do.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I don't know.
Okay.
As a president, if some other country attacked by surprise my country, I would say, fuck this shit. Now you get it. Yes, of course, I would do that.
Language.
I'm sorry.
Language.
But that's how I would react.
Okay, so until
Would you?
Alexia is the president of a sovereign country, let's all just try to keep calm and take a moment today to think about all of the service that other people have sacrificed for us to live the privileged lives that we do today.
Yes. And they are doing this until today as well.
And remember, you can't say bomb on a plane,
No, of course not.
but you can say bomb.
Would I say thank you for your service for any military?
To any military personnel.
Yeah.
Depends. So Alexia is asking about a very common thing in the U.S., especially when traveling in airports, things like that. You will see soldiers, members of the Navy, Marines in uniform.
Your cousin.
Yeah, for example, my cousin, he is in the Coast Guard, and a lot of people say thank you for your service. For
I think
example,
that's a nice
my
thing to
dad
do.
always does that. Yeah, it's totally a personal call.
To be honest, I don't know if in Brazil we do that. You guys would know better than I do because, to be honest, as well, again, I don't know anyone from the military or army or navy. So I don't know if we have this cultural thing.
I don't know. We have a lot of students that were in the military, but yeah, in class, I don't say, oh, thank you for your service to the Brazilian army because it just doesn't seem like my place.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that as well, but I'm really proud of them and they do a great service for everyone. That's for sure.
Cool. So anyway, I hope you guys learned some new questionably historical facts today. And don't say those B's at the end of words like bomb and dumb and plumber.
Okay.
Okay. Talk to you guys tomorrow.
Bye.